Continuing with Bucleo's endpoints, I'm going to create some more endpoints. So far, I only have one endpoint, which is classify knowledge, and that's going to be with a learning objective. Later on, I'm going to be adding grade level, and I'm also going to be adding subject. But for now, we're just going to leave it as is, and let's just test it to make sure it's working. Let's just start the the API. And what I want to do in this video, I want to actually build, this is my build log, and I'm going to be building more endpoints. So the first thing I want to do is just test this endpoint as is right now. Failed to classify it. Okay, let's try. Something's wrong. Let's just check again. And see, sometimes it will just have errors because there wouldn't be a proper communication with the LLM. So what I want to do today is actually create more endpoints as I'm testing over here, and I just want to make my plan here. So what I'm doing is basically creating endpoints to reveal Bloom's taxonomy information, and this is going to be directed for now, and it's going to be used by teachers and instructional designers and learners. Okay, so this is basically for teachers, instructional designers, and even students, or I'm just going to put learners to be more precise. So we have this target audience right here, and I'm just going to do describe the existing endpoints. There's actually one endpoint that is existing, API endpoints, and there's only one so far, which is the learning objective analysis. Let me see, like Bloom's analysis. So it's basically Bloom's context, in the Bloom's context, and I'm going to show that right now. So that's what I have so far. That's what we have so far. Let's just move this maybe here. This is the first endpoint, and this is part of the Bloom's taxonomy, and this is who it is for. So let's see that endpoint in action. It's still thinking, and I'm actually using Openrouter models. Shouldn't be thinking that long, but obviously I'm going to find faster models or even pay, because right now we just have the Hunter model. I think this is what it is what I'm using right now, Hunter Alpha. Well, it says Alpha, so it's, you know, testing or something like that. So let's just see if I'm returning something. Failed to classify their learning language. Okay, there was an internal error. Let's see, I have nothing here. So maybe there's something wrong with my account or something. Let's just try it again. I'm not going to change anything, just try again and continue building this. Okay, so I have this model over here. It's free, okay, but and it's created by Openrouter as far as I can see here. I might need to add some credits to test this with a better model. Sometimes I don't know, sometimes it doesn't work that well, sometimes it has limitations, but let's go back here. So we have the API with the learning objective analysis, which is this one over here, and what I want to do today is actually build the other endpoints, and let's just create one more over here, and that one is going to be it's just going to be get endpoints to expose the taxonomy, and those endpoints are going to have the following shape. I want one endpoint by, let me see, knowledge dimension, by knowledge dimensions, okay. And there's another endpoint, and I'm just gonna make this as a sibling here, by sub-knowledge dimension, and by knowledge dimensions we have different dimensions. by the Bloom's taxonomies. We have the factual knowledge. We also have the conceptual knowledge. And let me just see if I can just put a bullet point here. So we have factual knowledge, conceptual knowledge, procedural knowledge, and we also have metacognitive knowledge. But all of these types of knowledges, they have different, and all of these different types of knowledge, they have different sub-knowledge dimensions. For example, the factual knowledge can be divided into facts and details. For example, the conceptual knowledge can be divided in theories, models, different classifications, but I have all that information here in the different objects that I built for the taxonomy over here. Okay, for example, here we have, these are different subtypes. This is weird. Why is it in JavaScript? So it's in the dist folder, but I'm building this with TypeScript. So let's see. Knowledge dimensions. We have, for example, different subtypes. This one's from the conceptual knowledge. This one is from the metacognitive knowledge. Strategic knowledge is from the procedural knowledge. So we have all these different subtypes that I want to get from here. Okay, so let's just put right here in the middle, and I'm just going to point this to this actually. Let me just see. Okay, let's just leave it like that. So I want the endpoints by knowledge dimension, by sub-knowledge dimension, and I also want, let's put this over here, I also want this by cognitive level, and I also want to fetch those endpoints or that data by subcognitive level. And let me just show you what I'm talking about here. So we know there are 6 different levels exposed by or proposed by Bloom, and they are remember, it's the first one, remember, then we have understand, then we have apply, then we have analyze, then we have evaluate, and then we have create. But all of these have some subcognitive levels as well. So, and let me just show you here with my types. So we have cognitive processes. These are the main ones: evaluate, create, apply, analyze, and also we have some the processes that and I named them like that here, but there are sub processes. So for example, recalling, and also remembering, which is different. Recognizing, recalling and recognizing are 2 different types of or subtypes of remembering. And for understanding, we have 9 of them, or 7 if I'm not mistaken. Actually there are 7, and they are the following. They are: for understanding, you have classifying, comparing, exemplify, explaining, inferring, interpreting, and attributing. No, I think attributing is for analyzing. So this will actually help me as a teacher to organize all this information, because from time to time you forget what those levels are and how they're connected with each other. So that's why I'm building this also for myself. So the endpoints are going to be here. Let's just put here for the endpoints, and let's see if we can organize this better. So we have the Bloom's taxonomy here. Get the endpoints to expose the taxonomy, and I already have these endpoints, so this is done, and this is what I'm going to be working on in this session today, and it's going to be for instructional designers. So we have, let's review. Basically we have knowledge dimension, sub-knowledge dimension or subtype, and we have cognitive level and subcognitive level. And let's see if the LLM worked. It didn't work. There was an internal error. Let's see, but everything is running well here. Let's just test the health endpoint, which I'm pretty sure it must be working. His API is running, so it has something to do with Openrouter, and I have to fix that, and I'm gonna fix that right now because I don't want to have problems later on, even if this is beta or testing. So I'm just gonna come here. I'm gonna tell that, let me see, I'm just gonna go to models, and I'm gonna tell my agent to come here and read about the different models. And let's just go over here and change this for, this is fine, understand building taxonomy. So I'm just gonna create a new chat, and this new chat, I'm gonna tell it to go and investigate that. But I'm just gonna make the whole plan right now. Oh, and I forgot something else. I need to improve this one. So, and I need to add grade level and subject inputs. Okay, so I'm basically improving this one over here. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna be doing in this session. Let's get to work. But I also want to fix something, and I'm gonna put it right here. And let's fix something. I'm just going to say use different models. Use different models as plans B, C, or D. Okay, so I think that's called fallback. I think that's what it's called. If I go to the OpenAI router SDK TypeScript, and let's see what I get. But I'm sure, let's go over here, and this also has a nice interface here with an AI assistant. I'm gonna ask it, actually I'm going to ask it, so fallbacks, right? Explain to me about fallbacks so I don't stick to only one model, but I use them all simultaneously. Okay, let's see. All right, and model fallbacks in Openrouter allow you to automatically, wait, I want to read from here. Okay, so let's just, okay, so let's read about this. Model fallbacks in Openrouter allow you to automatically switch between different AI models when your primary model encounters issues. That's what I have to do. But they don't run models simultaneously, okay? Instead, they provide sequential failover, trying one model at a time until one succeeds. How model fallbacks work? Use a priority-based system where Openrouter tries models in the order you specify. If the first model fails due to a downtime, rate limit, and Openrouter automatically tries the next model in your list. And this is how it's done. I mean, it's not really hard. You just get an array of models. So all I have to do is ask my agent to read this. Agent, please read this. And I wanted to, actually I don't have to make a plan, so I'm just going to say read the following request I made to incorporate model fallback to my Openrouter agents. Yeah, okay, read the following, then incorporate here you go. Then investigate what the best models, what the best free models, because I'm using models are, so you implement the strategy. Okay, and I will share their agents response, their AI's response, and give you the link so you can investigate the best models. Okay, so let's do that, and let's share the actual chat, and let's also go and give it this for the models, and I wanted to investigate, and investigate the models. All right, let's see what it does. And while this is doing this, I can do some tasks that I need to do. I need to start thinking about my front end. So this is going to be for another video, but I'm just going to start installing this, as this is investigating. And this is finding the best free models available. Okay, so while it does that, yeah, okay, I approved this. I'm just gonna go to Vite. Okay, let's just put Vite React. See what we get here. Vite React. Getting started with Vite. So I can just do some work that I have to do later on, while the AI is working for me. So let's just create the Vite endpoint, and I'm just going to do it right here. So let's just put it right here. Just copy, create Vite latest, and it's going to ask me. Actually, I need to remove this because it's going to ask me to name the folder where I want it. Project name, let's just call it client. That's where I'm going to put it. It's going to be a React application. It's going to have TypeScript, and I want to install it right now. Okay, let's install it right now. Well, now let me check the Openrouter SDK to confirm the exact call model API signature. And you're doing that. While you're doing that, I'm also gonna go to Tailwind, because I need to install Tailwind, and this is gonna be for the styling. So let's just see over here. I need to install this for Tailwind. Okay, just copy this. This is still installing right here. Got everything right here. Get installed. Okay, let's see what this is doing. I have everything. Let me check the Openrouter SDK to confirm. I already read that. Okay, so it's just where usually what I do is like I don't just completely wait for the agent to work, but I'm also working alongside with the agent, so we save time together. Okie dokie. So let's just review my plan in the meantime. I'm gonna copy this later on. Maybe do some investigation on my own about fallbacks, just to make sure the AI agent is correct. So the priority order is over here. Try the next model in the list. Okay, fallback behavior, requests are priced using the model that was ultimately used. And I think there's not much to do, just using with OpenAI. Why is OpenAI here? Let me see. Included. Oh, okay. When we're using OpenAI models. Now, I mean, this is not complicated. I just have to use an array of models, and that's it. Okay, let's see what this is gonna give me. The investigation. Okay, so it says the SDK confirms both model and models are supported. Now have all the information needed to implement the fallback strategy. Free models chosen by capability tier for this agentic tool calling workload. Yeah, this is like the first one, already proven. Yes, I already found out about that. Second one, built specifically for multi-agent applications. This is NVIDIA's for explicitly testing on agent harness. And okay, and this one over here, Trinity Mini. Okay, what? Healer Alpha. Oh, they're different. Hunter Alpha. Which one was I using before? Let me just check the agent. Let's go to the back end. Back again. And I was using, oh, there you go. Hunter Alpha, the first one. Okay, you already fixed that for me. I was actually using the best one, so that's good. Fallback. Okay, and I have some comments here by the AI. And let me just see that was the only thing that was modified, and that's it. Okay, now we have all the information why these are the best ones. These are actually the best models that are for free, AI models. So 1 trillion, more than 1 trillion params agentic tool use. That's what I'm using, your existing model. All right, I'm gonna have to pay for this later on because I don't think those free options are really good, but let's just test them and see how they go. Let's actually test the endpoint, see if it's gonna work. Now it's throwing an error. Let me just see. Yeah, you see that. So you know what? I'm gonna tell this agent to help me debug this because I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's my account. Let's check my account. Openrouter account. Let me see, there's something wrong over there. And let's see the logs, see what's up. There you go. I have all the tokens here, the tool calls. This was the last time it was called. And they're not being called today for some reason. So I'm just going to tell it to actually give me some details because nothing's going on here. So let's just tell it to do that. Okay, so actually let's just restart the server and see if this will solve my problem. And let's do it. Nope. And let's see if I have a build there or something. Let's just build this and it should be alright. Yeah, so for some reason this is failing, so I'm just going to write it and I'm going to show it my endpoint, which is this one. Actually it's this one. Let's just go to controller and let's just say it. Let's just ask it for classified knowledge. Okay, for some reason classified knowledge keeps failing, but I don't have any 500 errors that I can read to debug. I'm not being returned errors from the Openrouter API. All I keep getting is actually what I keep getting is this. What I keep getting is the default. Where is it? Let me just copy this. The default catch error. The default catch error. Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be fixed here, something, so I can get a more precise error of what's going on, and so I can fix it. All right, instance of error. Okay, classify knowledge. Let's see. Now that will include a detailed field with the actual error message and the full error. Hit the endpoint again, you'll see the real cause. Okay, how am I getting that? So it says instance of error, console log error, classify L. Okay, so I'm just getting the total error here based on the error thrown here, I guess, from classify knowledge agent. There's no try catch here, but maybe, oh yeah, okay, maybe there's an await call here. Agent did not return. Don't tell me you're gonna throw me this. Okay, let's see. So let's see. Models array must have three items or fewer. Okay, there you go. So let's get rid of one of them. Let's get rid of this one. That's good. I need information. Okay, let's just get rid of this mini free one. These are the three best ones, aren't they? Let's just see. Yeah, fallback 3. Why you want me to get rid of this? Okay, let's see. You should. Oh, come on. I already did that. Have 3 items. Models array must have 3 items or fewer. How many did I have? Yeah, I had 5. That's crazy. Okay, let's see. 3. Okay, I suppose these are the 3 best. Fallback. You gave me 5 fallbacks. Explicit benchmark like open. Okay, so this should be it. Let's just see. I don't want those comments. I don't want those comments here. I don't need this information. I just need the 3 best ones, and that's it. three best models to do this. Let's see if it works. Oh, come on. Didn't I start the endpoint? Now the connection refused. Okay, that can be normal. Now let's see if it should work right now. Okay, while this is working, I'm going back to my Tailwind installation because I'm gonna need that later on. And okay, this is not returning anything yet. And I'm going to go over here, actually go to the client to install Tailwind. Okay, see the client, and I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need Tailwind bit, and I'm also going to need something else, which is prettier. Actually, I'll look it up, like prettier order of classes. Sorry, this will help me in development. Automatic class sorting with prettier, and I need to install that here. And then add a plugin in the prettier configuration file. Is it working now? Not yet. Okay, let's see if I get it. Oh yeah, it worked. So the fallback strategy worked, and this is the endpoint that I have so far. Students will design and run a control experiment to test a hypothesis, collect data, and write a conclusion with appropriate graphs. What dimension it is? Procedural knowledge. This is the explanation. This objective focuses on students learning how to carry out a scientific investigation, designing, executing, analyzing the data, and drawing conclusions, all of which are step-by-step procedures specific to the discipline of science. Subject-specific skills. Students are expected to master the specific skill set for conducting controlled experiments. Okay, forming hypotheses, controlling variables, And now we have different scenarios. All right, that's good. So this endpoint is working now, and I don't know if this is going to install. Let's just stop it, and I'm not gonna do client work anymore because I need to focus in the backend. But I just wanted to do something while the agent was helping me. So now, what I'm going to do now, and I'm just not gonna focus on the client anymore, is actually investigate something which was right here, which I'm not quite sure why we should use these get tools, and I already in a different session I explored that, but I'm not really that convinced. So let's go ahead and investigate that, or actually play around with it. So supposedly I'm returning this arguments, dimensions, but we're using this type here to return this. I don't know. I think I should advance. Let's just leave it like this because it's working. I'm new to this API, this what do you call it? This Openrouter API. Let's just see what model it used. Nomotron super free. Okay, this is the one it used this morning. Okay, that's good. All right, so let's just make some progress. So I'm already testing this. I'm gonna add grade level and subject inputs, okay, to this one over here. Let's improve this one and then work on these ones that are not gonna be, actually they're not gonna be using an AI agent. So we're just gonna create some objects here to return this. So let's make a plan, and I'm just gonna put it here. I'm gonna ask it to make a plan. So I'm just going to say it. Learn about the classify knowledge agent and see how it returns information about the Bloom's taxonomy knowledge dimension. Okay, see how the tool inspects internal Bloom's taxonomy objects that are used only for LLMs. Notice how the agent returns human-friendly outputs for users. So the learning objective is analyzed in the context of what? In the context of knowledge dimension, of a knowledge dimension from the revised Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, but we are missing inputs like grade level, and subject. Add those inputs in the endpoint and modify the instructions if needed. Okay, this is the first part of the plan. So, and also I wanted to make a plan because I just wanted to throw the whole plan and I will just carry it out. Then, when that's done, but then it's the same thing. Then, create endpoints for users to understand both knowledge dimensions, subtypes of those dimensions, cognitive levels, and subtypes of cognitive levels. You might need, actually, while this is gonna do this, I'm gonna install the front end. This is a long task, and then I'll just get back to it. You might need to inspect the taxonomy files in source to understand the concepts and come up with the best outputs for these 4 endpoints. You will hard code, not use AI agents to produce those outputs, to produce those outputs for the API users. Okay? Ask questions as you see fit. I think that's clear, right? So I'm basically asking it to create the endpoints for this, and this. And I'm also asking it, do not forget to use Zod for validation. Alright, let's just throw the plan. I'll answer the questions it has for me, and while it does that, I'll just focus on the client because I need to advance on that. Alright, so I'm gonna go to the index CSS, get rid of all this, and I'm going to copy the, actually, did I install this? I did not install this. So let's just install this because I did not, and also go to the instructions of how to install it. And of course I need this plugins here. I need to import this in the CSS file, and I also need a prettier configuration file, prettier.rc, and I also need to tell it how I want this. Let me see, semicolon false. I don't like semicolons in JavaScript. Print width, top width, that's okay. Top width is okay. Let's just get rid of print width, and let's just copy these plugins that I'm gonna need. Where are the plugins? Oh, here in automatic class sorting. Here are the plugins that I'm going to add to this. Let's just put them right here. Different plugins. And also, what else do I have to do? That's it. Do I have index CSS here? I don't need this. And let's go to the app TSS. Just get rid of this for now, and just create the app endpoint, and let's just test that it works. Let's get rid of all this and export default function app, and see what I get. Just gonna say return Bucleo. Bucleo's frontend is live. There you go. I like that. Okay, and main TS strict mode. I don't like strict mode, but yeah, I might need it. I'm just gonna leave it there, strict mode, and that's it. I think that's it. Now I'm just gonna change this to Bucleo, and this Fabricant, which is the React one. I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. And I think that's it. Assets, all these heroes and stuff like that. And I'm just gonna run it. I think it's running right here, isn't it? Okay, just have the API running. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this, and let's just start the what is all this? Let's just clear this, and let's just run the front end, and we're gonna start seeing the front end in localhost 5173, and I think we can do it here now on Visual Studio Code by starting the browser. Yeah, open integrated browser, and it should work. Let's see. Okay, what am I missing? Post CSS. You know what I'm missing? I'm missing the configuration file here for Tailwind, and I think that was given to me right here. So import this and then put it in the plugins in the bitconfig file. Yeah, I think that's what's missing. Didn't I install this already? Let me see. Cannot find this module. Where did I install it? And I'm pretty sure I installed it. Did I? Oh my god, did I install it here? No, because it didn't change here. I never installed it? That's weird. Okay, let's install it. Maybe I just copy pasted and I never installed it. I'm trying to be multitask here. While this is reading the Bloom's taxonomy. What is it saying now? I don't know, I did something wrong. Tailwind. That's weird. I'm installing the client and it's telling me I have an error here. Okay, let's see. Dependency tree found bit client 0.00 from the root project. Why am I getting this error? DevTools alpha. Okay, that's weird. Let's just go to the package JSON and see what's up. So we have something to do with this. I had never gotten this error before. So let's see, vid from the root project. Why am I getting this error? Okay, I'll get back to this and now interact with the agent. Which format grade level? The agent will use it to contextualize explanations. Grade 5, university, free text string. Yeah, it's better to do free text string for the LLM. Was that selected? The taxonomy objects are very rich. Yeah. What should the 4 hard-coded endpoints return? Yes, not the full data. Human-friendly subset, like I told you. Omit internal element. Yes. Make it very human-friendly. That's good. Where should the 4 new taxonomy endpoints live? Yes, in here, instructional design. That's good. How granular should the 4 new read endpoints be? Get knowledge dimensions, subtypes. This is a good one. Knowledge dimensions. Get knowledge dimensions. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Cognitive levels. Yes, I'm good like this. Let's just try like this. See how it goes. And let's start the implementation. What? Okay, it's cute. The starting template implementation was cute because I just wanna solve this problem with the with the with the front end because I have no idea what's going on here. Yeah, this wasn't installed. Okay, let's just try it again. It's gonna show me the same error. npm install tailwind. I don't have tailwind yet, but I think it has to do something with this version. Wow, why is it version 000? Okay, let's see. Tailwind was not installed before, and then I'm sure I'm gonna get the same error. Of course, what's gonna change? Okay. Could not resolve dependency vid from the root project. Maybe because I know vid has a new vid was actually upgraded, right? So start implementation. Let me build a plan. Okay, start implementation. What? Okay. It was cute before. Let me build a plan. Yeah, just go ahead and do it. Okay. This is a new one for me. Okay, let's just solve this. Install this. And it's not installing it because I have a problem here. I'm just gonna have to ask this guy to help me out here when it's done. When it's done with this. Unable to resolve dependency tree while resolving client 0.0.0 found bit 8.0 from the root project. Yeah, because it's bit. Alpha 34 pure optional, could not resolve this from Tailwind. There's something wrong with Tailwind, the installation of Tailwind, but I'll solve it later on. So let's not use Tailwind for now. Doesn't matter, I'll fix it. And if I go to the CSS file, which is right here, let's not use this yet, and go to this over here. Okay, let's see, it should work. Localhost, I did not start it. I didn't start the vid server. Okay, it should work now. I don't have an error here. Bucleo's frontend is live. Okay, but I'm missing CSS. What happens? This is the first time I tried this. What happens if I actually change this? Is it gonna update it? Oh, that's very cool. It's the first time I tried this. Wow, isn't it nice? It has a developer tool and everything. Okay, that's great. Now back to the backend. See what you're doing. So this is actually, what is this? What did you just build here? Taxonomy registry. Okay. So let's see what you're doing. Taxonomy registry. It's like a dictionary to cognitive process registry. So we have, what is this? This is not even a function. Record, remember. Registry, I'm sure it's like a dictionary, like it's called. And let's see the controllers. What else is it changing? Let me see. This is actually, let's I'm disorganized with the front end and back end. Let's actually commit the client. This is backend, 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 backend. So let's just taxonomy registry. All of this is client. So I'm just going to commit this install client. That's it. Let me see. So I already have that ready here. And now let's see the changes here. So we have this one over here. And now we have, what is this file? Is this the agent itself? No, the routes. Okay, so we have these different routes. We have knowledge dimensions, all of them. We have knowledge dimensions and a dimension for the subtypes. Okie dokie, that's pretty cool. Now we have all the cognitive levels, and then we have the cognitive levels plus subprocesses. That's the right word. So let's begin with knowledge dimensions. Let's just add it here. and let's just put knowledge dimension here. So API knowledge actually has to be instructional design and knowledge dimension. Let's just put it right here, knowledge dimension, and I'm gonna save it as a get. No, is it gonna be post? No, it's a get. It's a get endpoint, and I'm gonna put here knowledge dimension to test it. Okay, and that's it. So let's save it, and let's just duplicate this because we have a very similar one. That is subtypes, knowledge dimensions subtype. So we have the knowledge dimension here is going to be here, and we're going to have the subtypes, and that's it. And we're just going to put here subtype knowledge dimensions subtypes knowledge dimensions. Okay, so let's get rid of this copy word over here, and now we have knowledge dimension subtypes. What else do we have? What is this doing? You finished? Create the controller. You want me to build to see that everything worked? Okay, do that. And while this happens, I continue with cognitive levels. Let's just copy this, duplicate. Cognitive levels. So this is called cognitive levels. And the next one, which I'm gonna duplicate, is gonna be cognitive levels sub-processes, right? Sub-processes, cognitive levels, and okay, let's just rename this very well, and that's it. So here, instead of knowledge dimension, I'm just gonna put cognitive levels. And I'm gonna copy paste this, save it, and the sub-process is here. Sub-process here, I already copied that. So we have a space for sub-processes. And let's see. Are you done? Update endpoint, classify now requires biology optional. Okay, let's see about that. I'm gonna check that in a little bit. Let's just get rid of you for a while. Let's just get rid of everything here. And make sure, let's see what you let me see the taxonomy registry. That's good. It's a dictionary. Now let's go and see the taxonomy controller over here. Let's see the taxonomy controller over here. Taxonomy controller. We have the subtypes names, dimension names, and these types over here. That's a lot of types. And get knowledge dimensions. Why did we create a new controller? Well, that's okay because it's a lot. So let's just keep reviewing this. Knowledge dimension registry. Whatever we're getting returning, get cognitive levels. Okay, cognitive process map. You're mapping this. Get cognitive levels sub-processes, and we actually have the endpoint for get cognitive. These are the main functions for the routes. Get cognitive levels, and the key is gonna be, let me see, response. You're not using that to, yeah, I guess it's not that necessary. Oh yeah, you're actually doing it right here for the get cognitive levels. Very well done. All right, so let's just see, this is the second endpoint, the subtypes, and the main type. We have the knowledge dimension order, key, the registry. Okay, right, this is what I'm going to be getting. The name, the definition, the characteristics, and okay, let's see what this returns. Let's go to the, and let's also check the modification here for the input that I was supposed to get. Let me see, yeah, learning objectives, subject, and grade level. And let's see how the agent was modified. You're an expert in Bloom's taxonomy, instructional design. These are the inputs. Respond in the same. Classify this learning objective for, and the subject, the course, and that's it. So this is the only thing that changed over here. Now all we have to do is test the endpoints, but I need to see what the different options are. So let's go to the route. Where's the route? Route here. Okay, get cognitive levels, the dimension subtypes. Now, what are the options for dimensions? And that's something very important. Let's just begin with this one over here. Dimension and dimension. Okay, so I'm supposed to get factual, conceptual, procedural, metacognitive. That has to be written in English. I know this, I'm gonna have this service for bilingual learners, teachers, and instructional designers, but I need to give the options in English. Okay, factual, conceptual, and for the cognitive levels or for the sub level. Actually, yeah, the sub levels are gonna be they're gonna be received from the different 6 levels. Remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. Okay, so let's test that. I think it's ready. Cognitive levels. Let's begin with understand. Understand. Let's see what we get. There you go. So we have, this is an array of different the subtypes: interpreting, the alternative names, converting information from one representational form to another, transform between cognitive action, convert words to words, pictures to words, words to pictures. Very nice. Complexity moderate, requires I like this complexity. Typical context, paraphrasing, translating between formats. Okay, learning implications. Demonstrates comprehension through transformation. Yes, I like that. Expertise indicators, fluid convert between representation. This is going to be very helpful for teachers and instructional designers. Examples, paraphrase important speeches and documents from single word. Draw pictorial representations, assessment methods, construct a response, change information into another form. And then we have exemplifying. Nice, given a specific example. So it's just given the whole thing and just 40 milliseconds. Very cool. We don't need an AI agent here. We don't need artificial intelligence here. I mean, this is hard coded. This is actually hard coded. And let's just see how that was done. So the characteristics, process characteristics, was that in the registry? Let me see. Okay, let's just see. It was actually, because I don't think it's the same information from the taxonomy itself. For example, let's go to understand. Transfer-based learning. Okay, let's just go to the process of recalling. This is the actual hard-coded information, and let's go to, instead of understand, let's do remember. Remember what we get. Okay, retrieve relevant knowledge from long-term memory to compare with presented information. Retrieving relevant. Okay, let me see. Retrieving with prompt only. This wasn't retrieving relevant knowledge from long-term memory. Retrieving relevant knowledge from long-term memory when given a prompt to compare with presented information. Okay, because this is for the AI agent. I'm going to recalling. No, recognizing. I'm in the wrong place. Recognizing. Retrieving relevant knowledge from long-term to compare with. Yes, this is actually taken exactly from here. Like this was meant for the AI, but now it's also useful for humans. Cognitive action, search long-term memory for match with presented information. Cognitive action, so we have characteristics. So we have, okay, so we have name, alternative names, definition, complexity, typical context, learning implications, distinguish from. I don't have distinguish from, right? Because it's not necessary. I mean, this made a nice filter. Assessment methods. It's a nice filter. And examples, we have 4 examples here. Do we have examples here? The same 4 examples. I think it's very good. I mean, I don't have to include all of the information. So, for example, distinguished from was not used at all. Okay, maybe just for the AI, the LLM agent, because it's not really used over here. Okay, this is good. I'm satisfied with this. Now let's go to the cognitive levels. and see what we get. Cognitive levels, and just different cognitive levels. And I'm missing something here, of course. Cognitive levels. This is called cognitive levels. And let's see what we get. What? Cognitive levels. I just want this. Okay, these are different cognitive levels, characteristics, complexity, cognitive depth, sub-process keys, and then, oh, this is like a summary pretty much. Ability to recall, and from the actual types, from the actual objects, and let's just go to the, what was I looking for? Let me see. Cognitive levels, so cognitive processes, and oh my goodness, I'm not remembering this. Oh, all of them. So let's go with the first one actually. Understand process, for example. Remember process. So characteristics, definition, distinguish from, and processes. Actually, the only one is not using is distinguished from, but I think understand another transfer process, promoting retention versus constructing, retrieving stored information versus using knowledge. I think distinguished from is actually needed, but I'm just gonna leave it for like this, so I can move on, but I can later on consider adding it back or just leaving it as is. Okay, so let's just test the knowledge dimension. Let's see what we get. Error. Why is that? Let's just look at the route. What are the different routes? Here you are. Knowledge dimensions with S. Okay, let's just test it. Factual knowledge, basic elements required to work with it. While I review this, I'm gonna have my AI agent work on the error, and I want to create a new chat for that. So let's just tell it what's happening when I'm trying to I'm just gonna tell it, try installing cha. Where is it? Here. Just go back to here. Try installing cha in the client folder and examine why I am getting the errors and then fix by telling me the solution. I have no idea, so you should just do it for me. Okay, while this is working, I need to continue checking here. So factual knowledge, basic elements required to work, subtypes, high-low, isolate elements with intrinsic value. And what did I have originally in the dimensions? I had distinguished from is the only one that was not added, because definitions and characteristics, you see this is getting the error over there. That was the problem. Vite was upgraded to version 8, and that's the problem. Just release this. Okay, just find the solution and just keep going with this. Characteristic definitions and dimensions. Definition characteristics and subtypes. Distinguished from was not actually taken into account. Okay, so it says, now let's go to the solution. Mismatch between and the installed version of Vite. Your project uses Vite 8, which is new. Okay, only declares, okay, whatever. You have two options. For install, quickest may work fine. This bypasses the per sheet. I tell you, the plugin often works across Vite major since the underlying plugin API is stable. This is the lowest effort path. No, I don't want to downgrade to Vite 8. Yeah, option 1 for now. Okay, let's do that. So let's install this in the client. cd client, and let's just install it like this. And what should I do about the distinguished from property that is not showing here? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna expose the whole taxonomy the way that I wrote it. So I'm just gonna go back to here and I'm just gonna tell it, hey, you overcomplicated things. Oh no, I changed my mind. I changed my mind. So in the 4 endpoints you just created, uh, do reveal the whole knowledge dimensions and subtypes as they are written. They are human friendly as well. Do the same. Why am I talking like that? Do the same reading. Do the same thing for the cognitive processes and sub processes. This will simplify the registry because I think that's what you're doing here. The taxonomy registry. The taxonomy registry, because all you need to do is use a dictionary or mapper to pass the data as is. Okay, let's see what it does. And while you're working on the back end, I'll go back and work on the front end. So this is done. So I'm gonna import Tailwind, and I'm going to add this Tailwind to the config file. So let's go back over here, config file, and just going. Now it's recognizing it already, and now I can go and import Tailwind, right? Not base, but Tailwind. Like that, right? Yes, Tailwind CSS. Yeah, it's done already. And I'm just gonna test this. I'm just gonna give it some colors to see if it works already. Text, red. Why don't I have the? Let me see. I need to add that. Let me see that extension. Tailwind extension. Intelligent Tailwind IntelliSense. Tailwind snippets. No, I think this is all I need. Let's just close this. Okay, the controller is the only thing that. What? Backend, back to backend. The controller is the only thing that needs to change. The registry is already just a dictionary, so the handlers become simple spreads. Okay. File content matches. It's just likely a unique code character, and just overwrite the file. The registry is already a dictionary, is it? Let me just check. Factual. You got. You're right. You got the whole thing over here. Because I'm getting everything. The processes. Yes, these are, let me see, 4 knowledge dimensions of knowledge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6 ones for the cognitive. And now we have the, these are types. And now, okay, knowledge dimension and the registry. Yeah, I forgot. You know what? I forgot that I had done this. I'm actually exporting everything, importing everything here. These are the subtypes already here. Look. So if I can inspect this, come on, I already have the subtypes here. And the subtypes, for example, this one, subject specific and algorithms, it already has all the subtypes. So you're right. This registry is actually the perfect dictionary, showing everything. The problem was in the taxonomy controller that it was returning this, and it should not. It should just return the whole thing, not use this custom props. Let's see if you're gonna do that. If not, I'll change it. Is that what you're gonna do? Let's see. Huh. Yeah, since you already did it. So knowledge dimensions, knowledge dimension registry, the whole thing was already done here. Okay, you want to build? Let's see about that. Knowledge dimension, and you should have the distinguished from over here. So this is done. This is very good. This is actually done. I'm exploring all of my taxonomy engine here. Super cool. All right, clean build. Ta 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 ta. Okay. All right, that's it. So I don't know if I should. Let's test the end. Let's test the front end now, because that's what I'm going to be doing next. I already have this. Let's say yeah, just by changing the color here, I will see whether whether Tailwind is working or not. And let's just open the browser with HTTP localhost 5173. Yeah, so Tailwind is working already, and that's it. I think I'm ready for the front end in the next video. Let's just add this to GitHub Cloud, and let's see, add taxonomy endpoints and integrate Tailwind. Yes, new endpoints for knowledge dimensions and cognitive levels. And let me also try the new the improved endpoint. So I think I already did all of this. I added grade level and subject inputs, use different models. I already did that. Get endpoints to expose the taxonomy by knowledge dimension, sub-knowledge dimension, cognitive level, and subcognitive level. I already did all this. And let's try. It needs grade level. Now, if I do this, it's going to throw an error because I'm expecting a subject. Let's say this is for, what subject is this? Test the hypothesis, science. Let's say this is very low. Test the hypothesis, collect data, and write a conclusion about it. And write a conclusion with appropriate graphs. Let's say this is for, let me just test that this is actually requiring the grade level. It's not requiring the grade level. Okay, let's check. Let's check the controller. Let's just close this taxonomy controller. And grade levels should be required. Isn't it required? Get knowledge. No, it's in instructional design actually. Classify knowledge. Learning objective. Grade level. Oh, you said it was optional. Huh, should I have it optional? Let's just leave it optional. See what we get. No, grade level should not be optional. You know what? I'm not gonna make this optional. Let's just make it required. And let's just try again. It's gonna throw an error. Expected string received undefined. Grade level. Grade. Let's say I put grade level and I put, say, 5th grade. And they just throw it like this. Invalid input. It should be grade level. There you go. So this is validating well. Now let's see the result for this. Students will design and run a control experiment to test the hypothesis, collect data, and write a conclusion with appropriate graphs. Let's see how it does. Don't I have more tasks? This is the thing with okay. Procedural knowledge. This learning objective belongs to procedural knowledge because it requires students to apply a specific scientific method process. Now we're talking about revised Bloom's taxonomy. Designing and conducting a control experiment. The objective is focused on the how-to of doing science for method, forming a hypothesis, controlling variables, collecting data, and drawing conclusions. It's not about understanding concepts or memorizing facts. I like that it is comparing with other knowledge dimensions. I like that. This is about the specific techniques and methods used in scientific experimentation. Students need to know how to design a controlled experiment with proper variables, how to collect data systematically, how to create appropriate graphs. What happens if I do this for first grade? Let's see what it does. It should lower the, let's read the scenarios. A fifth grade class is testing whether plants grow taller with different, oh, it's taking into account the grade. Students must set up 3 identical bean plants, place them in different light conditions. How it applies is directly demonstrates the procedural knowledge. Now, students want to test which paper towel brown. Let's see how it changes for first grade. And let's see what models it is using. It's using, is it using Nemotron all the time? It used Hunter Alpha the last time. Nemotron. Now let's see what it does. It's going to take a while. Look at the speed. 38 seconds. Is that this? No, this is not the speed of seconds. This has to be different. I'll find out what this is. Okay, it's taking a while, but at least you're going to give me the results, right? 33 seconds. But that's a lot of information, look. So I don't know if... I think we can probably make it faster, but let's see. This objective asks students to actively design, conduct, and analyze a control experiment step by step. Hands-on process that is specific to doing science because the focus is on how to carry out the investigation. Forming a hypothesis, controlling variables, collecting data, graphing results, and drawing a conclusion. It falls under procedural knowledge rather than merely recalling facts or understanding concepts. Nice. I like this, that it differentiates it from the other knowledge dimension. Students are expected to learn and apply specific sequence of actions, planning, manipulating, measuring outcomes, recording data, creating appropriate graphs. In a first grade science class lesson, students investigate whether seeds grow better in sunlight. I like it that now it's contextualizing the grade level. What? Seeds grow better in sunlight or shade. They designed the experiment by planting 2 sets of identical seeds, placing one set in a sunny window and the other in a dark closet, giving both the same amount of water each day. After 2 weeks, they measured the height of each sprout. Nice. This scenario shows students following the procedural steps. Another scenario, test which material, paper towel, sponge, or cotton cloth absorbs the most water. They cut equal size pieces, submerge each in water for 10 seconds. So this is working very well. So soon I'm going to be publishing these endpoints with the nice front end, and I'm already building the front end over here. Well, I set up everything for the front end, so this is nice and clean for everybody to use. All right, so thank you for following my project at Bucleo Systems, and I hope you find this very informative. I wish to collaborate with other people. This is what do you call it? Open source project, so everyone's invited to join, and everyone's invited to both learn from this and also to participate and collaborate. All right, so thanks again.